On my browser right here, basically what I've done is I've opened Dynamics 365 with the Levridge solution. So we're on our agronomy dashboard. Let's kind of talk through this just at a really high level. So, the first thing you're going to notice here is obviously we're a web-based environment, right? Which is a huge step forward in a lot of ways, meaning when we start having conversations with our growers, we're really starting to be able to interact with the system even while at their site, if you so choose to do that. Meaning that if you want to be able to create a plan, for example, for your grower, apply a specific program, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and then execute off of that, you can do that then mobily. You can do it via your phone technically, or even via a tablet, instead of doing it on paper. And that's one of the big differences that we start looking at from an agronomist point of view, or even from an agronomy manager point of view, is that information is really in a digital format, and data is really the key for this, meaning that we want to be able to very easily and quickly access this data and interact with it. So you can see I've logged into a Lev Sales CRMdynamics.com. So this is our demo instance. I'm in the agronomy area, and you can see that the very first screen that I have is an agronomy dashboard. And basically what I did is I customized this to my personal requirements that I wanted on this dashboard. So having the number of new accounts that are being added per month, understanding the plans that are going on, understanding the sales agreements that are out here, and then also the proposals that have been calculated as well, are kind of metrics that I'm looking at to be able to start making decisions on where I need to kind of dig in deeper as part of my daily operation. And what we really wanted to highlight here were a couple of facts. The first, obviously, is that these types of reports and dashboards are all interactive. So as you decide to define what your metrics are, so maybe you want to see active new customers, not by month, but by quarter. So you would have this by quarter that you would specify instead of by month as you create that. But maybe you want to be able to see then this data too. And so when we start talking about visualization here, so interaction, right? That's also a really critical portion of what we are tackling as part of the Levridge solution. So if I wanted to see, okay, in May, what were the new accounts that I added? We can see then those new accounts. Or if I wanted to look at the new accounts that were added the prior month, and if I wanted to drill down into one of those accounts then as well, I could easily click on that graph, click on that particular value, and then drill into it as well and see all the detail about that particular account. So when we start talking about, making decisions then off of a dashboard, this is really what we're looking at here, is being able to present that information very easily as part of that. And this, remember, this dashboard concept as well can change, meaning I'll show you an example just really quickly here. On our agronomy dashboard, you can see I've got all these different types of dashboards that have been set up that are, more specific towards relationship management, but you can actually go ahead and create your own as well. So if I wanted to, for example, take a Power BI dashboard and take, for example, we're going to call it our daily position report that I want actually accessible here. You can see my in, out, and my total stock as well for this at the different locations that I have. This is an example then of me creating a dashboard that I can then expose then inside of Dynamics 365 to interact with it. So when we start talking about looking at information, identifying it, another example, we'll just go ahead and look at this one. So our active sales agreements, our contracts that we have inside of the system. If we click on that and we drill into it, I can see all the different contracts that make up that value that's related to it. And more towards the end of the demonstration today, we're going to show you how you can actually access that data and create your own charts and graphs and dashboards. Cody, I know this is a pretty fundamentally different capability, right, than a lot of the other solutions, because a lot of the other ones you got to run reports, right, to generate this information, whereas here we've got a dashboard that can really drill into that.
No, I mean, it's absolutely, that's one of the powers of our platform, and really in harnessing the power of the Microsoft platform is it's so much more open and customization. We're not dealing with so many stock reports that we need to do a change order to go ahead and make things different. It's easy for the person in the field or the average user to generate, what they think those key performance indicators are for themselves, so that they can track across. And as those change over time, or as those change over the course of a given season, they can quickly go in and update that and give them the power of the information they need at their fingertips when they need it.
Yeah, and one of the things you said to me, Cody, obviously for Pure Farms, this is the account I created. I got to pay my bills, as you can see here. I'm a little bit up there in terms of my proposal amount. So there are metrics though. So when we start talking about what the future holds for the strategic decisions that you're making, one of those is moving away from running reports that you have to manually go through and then use a yellow highlighter to identify those exceptions. What we want to do is have the exceptions presented on the dashboard so that you can interact with them, whereas the non-exceptions that are processing in the background typically, for example, let's say it's a small agronomy plan and we really don't need to have it go through multiple layers or processes to validate it. Instead, we just want to fast track that, and it wouldn't show up in this dashboard as an exception then, because we've got a business process in place that already handles it. So this is a concept just to know that you're going to see as we go through this demonstration a little bit more on how we navigate to be able to get to that information. But obviously those dashboards are really that first start or first place to start for that strategy.